Forex Fortune Hunters, Tom Wilmot speaking. We're going to continue our investigation of the Trend Magic and Chandelier combo, which we call the Double Whammy template in MetaTrader. And we're going to add yet another indicator to this just to help us figure out when the best time is to enter a trade with minimum risk and maximum reward potential. So hang on to your hat. Let's get started. Okay, you Forex fortune hunters, let's get back to business here. When we were working on our book, The Amazing Zeelander Fly Trap Forex Trading System, that's still published on Amazon Kindle for the magnificent price of $3.99, it gives all the background on what to look for in Forex, what about fundamental announcements, bank and interest strategy, and so forth. But the baseline indicators used are multiple moving averages, and you can see them here on your chart. This is sort of the most fundamental approach that I use in my trading. And quite frankly, it's also in futures and in equities as well, but that's for another day. Notice in this particular chart, which we're calling Blaster 2 here, we have our multiple moving averages, and as they open up, the price moves higher. As they revolve and turn around, using this medallion to suggest a twist in the moving averages, we have a downtrend, and then back up again we go. Now, these are the 12, 16, 20, and 24 EMA, and that's a significant portion of the discussion in the book. And on YouTube, on this channel, our channel FX Vineyard FX, there are a number of videos that explain the illustrations in that book, so you can get all the background you want. We'll just be quickly reviewing this strategy here so that we can see what indicator, the Zeelander Signal line, we can kind of migrate over to our Trend Magic Double Whammy approach. So I think you're going to find it interesting. Hang with me just a second and we'll get through this. Bottom line is, if we were to add now additional, let's add another indicator situation here. Hang on, we'll go down to this one. Sorry, it's screwing up for me here. We have this situation. We're going to add even more of our multiple moving averages, and what this gives you is a visual clue as to when there's a pullback into the bands, and then kind of like an elastic rubber band situation of flailing up of the market after that takes place. Bottom line is, I believe this is a 47 or a 50 moving average EMA, and if you look at your indicators list by right-clicking on anywhere on the chart, pulling this up, not only do I have my basic indicators here, the 12, 16, 20, and 24, but I've added something called Gim Along, and this multiple moving average set comes right in your indicator package if you want to add it yourself. Indicators here, and then down to custom. Most of the brokers offer this. You can get it off the internet. You can see here Gim Along and Gim Short. If you don't want to add your own indicator inputs, you can just plug these babies in right here. Whoops, I got to move that down for you. Gim Along is right here. Okay, enough said. Now, what I noticed when I was doing the book was that as you turned upward here, there usually is a bit of chop. And before the trend is really confirmed, there's some backward and forward filling in motion. And so what I said was, let's take a look at when this indicator actually makes its turn. Let's add a line right here. And that line indicates where the final closing value was of this change to the upside. That would mean a 12 crossing over the 24 EMA. Okay, so notice that once you get above that, there is a significant acceleration in price movement. And so what I had done was to have an indicator written for me, a program for me based on this concept. And let's go to yet a third Oops, sorry about that. This is not doing what I wanted to do today. I apologize. Come down and pull up our next video. What's happening here now is that what we've done is programmed an indicator that will place our line automatically on the chart. And you can see what's happening. There's this particular up and down and up and down, and this happens to be a 5-minute chart. So this activity takes more than an hour to get going before you get off and moving again. And notice that after you've come up through this is confirmed by the 12 moving average crossing over our line. That's when the arrow is printed. Notice that we have a pullback and then an acceleration of the trend. And so what we want to do now is see if there's some way to incorporate this particular indicator into our Trend Magic and just see how that all combines. And I think you'll find when we see the next chart that in fact there's no differentiation in strategy. It's just a different visual representation of how the indicators fit together. Okay, so now we're back at ground zero with our double whammy template, and by that I mean the Trend Magic line and the Chandelier line as our fail-safe stop loss area. We've got the same set of price candles that we had on our previous chart when we were looking at the multiple moving averages and what we call the Zeelander Signal line. Now what we're going to do now is to add the signal line without the multiple moving averages, just the signal line itself, and we're going to do that. I'm not going to insert it because it's got some different colors and so forth, so I've preset this indicator. And we'll come over here to this particular area and we'll go to Double Whammy 2. And sure enough, what happens is, as you can see, even though you can't see the multiple moving averages, it was this candle right here. Let's open it up a little bit right now so you can see it clearly. It was this candle right here that was used to indicate the white medallion, the move to the north, the crossover of the 12 and 24. And the indicator now prints this line for us automatically on the chart. Notice again that we did have the chop we were discussing. This area right here is up and down for a period of time. 5-minute chart, and there are at least 10 bars, so that's at least an hour. And then when we finally get going again, let's bring it down so you can see it more clearly. You can see this first pullback into the chandelier. If you don't take the arrow up, which you could do, this arrow right here, which would get us into this area, pull back, a touch of the Trend Magic, and then an acceleration higher. The same thing occurs all day long. And so the idea with adding this Zeelander Signal line to your template is very simply that you can avoid taking the trade with the chop going on. You wait until you get a confirmation with the arrow that the moving average has in fact broken through our signal line, and now we're ready to move higher and or lower as well. So let's go out here and let's take a 15-minute chart and just see what happened. And by the way, this was the Monday move when Prime Minister May had come back from Europe and claimed that there was a better Brexit deal and so forth, and the market got all excited, and the British pound started moving up against the yen. And in fact, this was quite a significant move last Monday. Or in the March time frame. I'm on Saturday the 16th now, so it was last Monday. And so we had a move of 288 pips on that euphoria over the potential for the Brexit deal working out. The downtrend that occurred later, as you can see right here, was when the Attorney General in the UK said, in fact, it's not a different legal situation. And so the market crashed. We came over here. We notice we have yet another one of our Zeelander signal lines. As we crossed over, it's synchronized really with the double white lines of our double whammy. And now we have our arrow up, and once again you can see here we are moving into the next day, which was I believe the Wednesday time frame. We pull back and we can take a trade anywhere in this area above the line. Notice that you have now two fail-safe stops. We can take this chandelier here, or potentially we can take the Zeelander fly trap line here. So now let's take a look and see what happened Wednesday, right through the London Open, through US and into the stock market. We had 95 pips just in that small move in the 2 hours of trading right here. Then we pull back, and in the afternoon we had yet another surge as the British Parliament voted that they would not have a hard Brexit exit. So, guys, that's the first way we've introduced the Zeelander Signal line. Notice the closer we can get to our entry in this area, the less risk to the downside, the more potential for upside. Obviously, every time you move up, the first two are probably perfectly okay. When you get up into this area, you have to be very careful. The move has had its time. It's run out of energy. So try to get into this as early in the trend as possible. We'll be using this combination of indicators in some future recordings about how to track this market. I hope this has been helpful to you. Please take a look at fxfortunehunter.com, where we have a number of video sliders that show how these indicators are put together and the templates are built over time, as well as using the playlists on our Vineyard FX YouTube channel. Thanks very much for joining in our subscription list. We're pleased to have you on board and hope this is going to make you a profitable Forex trader. Take care and see you next time.